Hello, everyone. I am Donna Fox. I am the CMO of Groove.cm, where customers matter. I am here bringing you the first of many training sessions with the amazing and incredible man who is my dear friend, Ridgely Goldsborough. Ridgely, welcome.
I'm so excited. Groove Growth 1. Wow. Incredible, right? We're here, finally.
I can hardly believe it, actually. We've been planning this for a couple of months now, so it is very, very exciting to be rolling out with the first bit of content for Groove Growth. And if you haven't taken a look at the schedule that we have set for you, please do. We have just an incredible amount of stuff coming for Groove Growth. So we're going to just jump in on today's first topic, which is goal setting and dreams and planning.
That's right. And I'd like to start with the part that's not so easy for everybody, the part that is sometimes overlooked, which is, why do you think, Donna, that people struggle and suffer so much with their goals?
Oh gosh. I think there's a lot to unpack in that question.
Yeah.
A part of it is, I think people they do goal setting wrong from the very beginning. So one of the fundamental shifts that that happened for me, and that changed the way I approach my goals, is that I realized that the thing that most people hold out as their goal is actually the reward that you get for doing something.
Mhm.
So let's take a financial goal because it's easy. Let's say your goal is to make $10,000 a month, passive income. Fine goal, excellent goal to have, except that it's the reward. The money is not the goal. The money is the reward that you get when you do the thing that should be the goal. And that thing is what you have to figure out. And the thing is the plan of the actions that get you to the goal. So instead of setting a goal of $10,000 a month in passive income, maybe your goal should be $10,000 in profit a month in rental income, because you do real estate rentals, or by selling a particular product that you have. Maybe it's not 10,000 goals. Maybe it is doing the work to get your membership site out and launched and get users into your membership site. Those are the goals. The goals should be the work, not the reward.
So if you back it up then, and somebody were to ask you the question, what is a goal? How would you answer that?
Yeah. So a goal, and I think it gets muddied by sports too. Because what's a goal in sport? A goal is when you get your points. A goal is when you tick off a milestone. You get one step closer to something. That's what a goal is in sports. A goal for us as humans it's similar. It's a milestone. You want to reach this milestone in your life. It's not an end point. It might be. You might have a goal to jump out of an airplane, and maybe you only want to do that once, so it's an end point for you.
Yes, check that box. Done that, and only once. Done.
And never want to do it again, right?
No need.
Yeah, so that might be a goal. It's a milestone along your path. They're important. Definitely important to recognize those milestones, what people call goals, which I will call milestones, because for me, goals are reached every single day. Goals are about daily behavior. So that's the way I look at goals. Is if the goal is daily behavior, then I'm not waiting a year. And that's why I think most goals fail, is because people set them up and they set up a goal, not a plan on how to achieve that goal, and it's a milestone, or it's a reward goal. So I want to do this by that date, or I want to reach this milestone by that date, versus the plan or the goal of I want to, and very briefly, as an aside, you're going to get this entire goal class. So I'm going to, for those of you that are listening, which is everyone within the sound of my voice, we're going to give you this goal class where I lay out this whole system
Mhm.
very, very specifically. But I'm going to start by saying, I've given you some hints that it's not really about what most people set as goals. It's about who you want to be every single day. So for me, that big shift happened when I stopped making goals that were about getting something or being somewhere, and started making goals that were about being the person that gets you to those places.
Hmm.
Huge shift in my philosophy, and it really speaks to me. So that's my viewpoint on goal setting.
How does this definition grab you?
Okay.
A goal is an end toward which you direct specific effort. Because it has the component of the plan and the
Yep.
action.
Yep.
Yeah,
I like
grab you. Okay, you good with that
I
one?
like that definition.
Okay, so then we would say that the elements are something that's got to be achieved, that has a
Mhm.
measurable outcome, and a
Mhm.
date and time that goes along with it.
Yes, I'm in full agreement of that definition.
Okay, awesome. So we're on the same page. Because philosophically, it's important because there's so many people out there that are, yeah, a goal, and the vagueness that goes in there with the lack of specificity that doesn't allow for accountability, the ability to count in the
Yeah.
direction of that goal is so key. So why do you think, from Donna's philosophical perspective, why goal setting is so important? Why is it important?
Oh, because, when you get in your car and you turn your car on and you pull out of the driveway, if you don't know where you're going, you don't know which direction to turn.
But any
You,
road will get you there
as
if you don't
long
know
as
where
you
you're
know
going.
where there is, right? Exactly.
If you don't know
Exactly.
where you're going, any road will get you there, right?
You're absolutely correct on that. I mean, and it may be true that in the beginning, any road will get you there. If your goal is to be out of your driveway, then it doesn't matter which direction you turn. But if your goal is to get to the grocery store, you better know where the grocery store is. Otherwise,
Mhm.
you're driving around aimlessly and get there by blind luck, which is how most people accomplish their goals. If they don't exactly know where
Guys do that all the time, Donna. Guys
they're.
do that all the time. They'll start driving around. They're like, rather than stop and ask somebody for directions, yeah, I'm sure there's going to be a gas station down this road eventually. Eventually, I'm going to get to the gas. Guilty as charged, all speaking on behalf of all men.
It's great, right?
And Groovzilla, too. Groovzilla is guilty, too.
I'm fond of letting my fingers do the walking in that case.
Yeah, right. It's a lot smarter, but guys are just not as smart as you are. That's the point.
Well, I would never say that, so I'm glad you did.
Okay. So let's take this a little further. What do you think are the components? What's the anatomy of a goal?
So, the anatomy of a goal. I think that if we go back to your definition, one of the definite components was that it was measurable.
Mhm.
And I think that a goal is measurable even if the measurement is just a yes or no. Did I do this? I really do try to break down my goals into daily activities.
Mhm.
So let's say I have a goal to lose 10 pounds. Now, I would never set that as a goal because that's the reward that you get for being a healthy person is
Mhm.
you get to fit in your clothes a little better. So just
Mhm.
from the jump, I'll say that my goal would not be to lose 10 pounds,
Mhm.
but maybe that's the result that I'm looking for. And I want to achieve it. I will figure out what I need to do. That's the planning part of a goal. So, what is ordinarily called a goal is the result or the reward that you're looking for. Um,
Mhm. The
there's a
what, if you
planning
will.
component, the what, yeah. There's a
Mhm.
planning component, the what you will do, because every goal requires action. You can't
Right.
just set a goal to get something. I want $10,000 a month. Yes, me too. Just like that, Like, of
Mhm.
course I want that, but it's not really, it's a dream. And I've heard this over and over. I hate to use things that are so overused, but I've heard many, many times a, a goal is a dream with an action plan. And
Hmm.
it very much is that without the action plan, it is only a dream. You won't get there, or if you do get there, it's by luck. It's because
Right.
you happened to turn the right way out of the driveway, not because you intended to. So I think a plan is a huge component of it.
We could call that the how.
Right. We can call it the how.
Okay.
Here's how people do it wrong, though. If the goal is to lose, 10 pounds by March 1st, they might say, okay, so that means I have, 10 weeks, I'm going to lose 1 pound a week. That's not a plan. That's just smaller goals. That's just smaller goals. The plan is what action you're going to take. So, and that happens on a daily basis. It is daily action that brings us to our goals, not weekly, not monthly. And it's the action, not the sub goal or the sub milestone.
So then you
So
have so what we said so far is there's the goal is made up of what? What are you going to do? There's a
mhm,
how, a plan.
mhm.
What about the component of why? Do you think there's a why that goes into every goal?
Abso-freaking-lutely. I think that is important.
Hmm.
And I also think that the why people get that wrong too.
Okay,
You
say
might
more.
say, I want to make $10,000 by March 1st, or I'm not sure whether I want to lose weight or make money. I keep flipping between those two.
That's
Um,
okay. You're hitting on things that are important to most people.
yeah.
Both
If I add
of
quit
those.
smoking, I've got everybody who's listening, I think. I don't
Mhm.
smoke, so that's why that one doesn't occur to me. Um, I I think that when it comes to the why, people look for whys that are outside themselves.
Mhm.
I want to be able to provide for my family is a financial why. I want to be around for my family is a health why. Um, I like my whys to be whys about being.
Mhm.
So when I look for my why, I think, what kind of person do I want to be? And I go into this in depth in the goals course that we're giving you. One of the
Mhm.
examples that I like to use is, I want to be a good dog mom.
Yeah.
Who doesn't want to be a good parent for their fur babies, right? I want to
Mhm.
be a good dog mom. So what does that mean? Well, it means that I provide my dogs with the best food I can afford, that I give them the exercise that they need, that I give them the mental stimulation that they need. And I break that down into specific tasks. One of those tasks, one of the things that I need to do every day to be a good dog mom, is to walk my dogs. And I walk
Mhm.
my dogs for 2 miles a day, nearly every day,
Mhm.
360 days out of the year if I'm home. Well,
Mhm.
I do take a couple of days here and there, definitely, because it's too cold or it's rainy or it's Christmas. There are all sorts
Mhm.
of reasons why I might not do it.
Mhm.
But nearly every day, my dogs and I are walking for 2 miles.
Mhm. Yeah.
I'm not setting a goal to walk for 2 miles, although, oops, I shut my phone off, but apparently the integration where it works on my computer is not working. I apologize for that.
All
Um,
good. No worries.
if I set a goal to walk for 2 miles a day for my health, for my, I guess I am setting it for my family, it's my dogs. I wouldn't necessarily do it. It would be really, really easy to say, I'm not going to walk today, or I'll do that. If I was trying to walk to lose the weight, it'd be very easy to push it, because
Mhm.
the why isn't a why that speaks to me. But the
Mhm.
why that is about who I want to be is
Mhm.
hugely powerful, more powerful than any other method or strategy that I have personally used. It becomes about identity
You know what's
versus
interesting?
about just a
Yeah.
dream, or, you know.
Yeah, I'm harking back to, as you know, I worked very closely with Jim Rohn for a long time. And one of Jim's sayings that I think is very much in keeping with what you're talking about, he would say, don't spend much time worrying about who you are right now. but spend a great deal of time worrying about who you are becoming.
Oh, yes, I love that. I love that. And I think people get hung up on who they are.
Mhm.
I I hear all the time, well, that's just who I am. That's just the kind of person I am. You get to choose. You get to
Mhm.
choose that every single day, the kind of person you are, or how you think about things, or how you approach things. That is, in many cases, probably the only thing that you can choose every single day is who you are, how you show up and present yourself to the world.
Mhm.
Yeah,
And what happens as a result of that,
as a
because
result.
obviously they're thoughts, words, and deeds that are creating causes on an ongoing basis that are morphing that on an ongoing basis. And so the choice is not a passive choice. The choice is a very active choice. Who you are becoming is something that involves effort and
Yeah.
volition and consciousness and intent and all of those things to move you forward toward being the best dog mom that you can.
Yeah.
Yeah. So talk to us a little bit about your thoughts on writing goals down and why that's so key.
Oh, I think writing things down is key for a number of reasons. Part of it is just figuring out the words.
Mm,
Figuring out the words to articulate a desire is harder than it looks. It's harder than it seems. Um, there's a lot of power to the words that you choose, and you might write down a goal and then realize, well, that's not exactly what I want. Um,
mhm,
or you can always try writing it down and then thinking about ways that you might get it that aren't the ways that you want to get it. So let's go
mm,
back to the weight loss one. I'd
mhm.
like to lose 10 pounds as your goal. You might get your head chopped off. You
Yeah,
know,
that would
it's the
work.
whole genie in the lamp thing. Like you have to
Mhm,
watch be careful what you wish for. If your goals are wishes with a plan, if they're dreams with a plan, be careful what you wish for. And,
mhm,
it's a bit extreme that you're going to get your head chopped off, but you'd lose 10 pounds. You'd lose a
mm,
whole lot more too. So part
mm,
of writing it down is being able to reflect and say, is that really what I want? Is that,
mm,
or do I want something actually more specific? No, maybe
mhm,
I don't want $10,000 in passive income every month. Maybe I want $10,000 in passive profits every month. Now
mhm,
I've taken a look at it, seeing where are the catches, where's the genie gonna get me if I get this wish? And then I modify and alter it. And I think that only happens when you write it down. I think that there's a powerful clarity that comes from writing things down with your hand. I'm old school. I plan in books. I have many of these around. I write things down. Very, very, very old school, very visual. Here's another one. Um, my planning is all visual and I write shit down. And that's because
mhm,
writing things down makes a difference. And me being visual, everything is very colorful and artsy because I'm an artist. So
mhm,
that's
mhm.
an important part for me. So my process includes writing things down and often illustrating as well. So
Yeah, no, I am 100% with you. I am the king of journals and sticky notes. And I'm so funny because I know if there's something that I need to get done and it's really important, if I put it on a sticky note and stick it on my desk, I know it will get done because it's staring at me and it interferes with my goal of clearing off my desk so that I have a clean workspace with which to proceed.
Mhm.
So, at the end of the day, how do you react to this? Results are judge and jury. In the long run, it's what you do, not what you say.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It is what you do and not what you say. I think that's why so many people experience skepticism and mistrust in the world. I think far too many of us are talking about stuff and should just shut up and do it. Just shut up and do the work. I mean, really.
Mhm,
Um,
mhm,
I, you. Far too many people spend far too much time talking about what they plan on doing. And
Mhm.
and while it is good to share your goals and your plans with people, um, and it's good to be open about them so that you get some accountability,
Mhm.
it's not talking about them doesn't get you there. Talking about all the things that you want to do doesn't get you there.
Mhm.
Organizing all of the stuff, all of your thoughts and feelings around your goal doesn't get you there. Planning all of the things and how you're going to get to your goal doesn't get you there. The only thing that gets you there are the things that you do every single day to make those goals a reality.
One of my favorite sayings is, now o'clock is good, everything else is late. So let's
Yeah.
just focus on now o'clock
Yeah.
and get it done. What do you think about language when it comes to your goals? The language you speak to yourself, the affirmation language, language such as, I am responsible, give it to me, I'll get it done. You can count on me. I choose to do this. What do you think is, how does that play into the accomplishment and achievement of one's goals to have that type of effective phraseology for oneself?
I think it's super powerful. And if we go back to the me taking a 2 mile walk every single day, I can tell you that I wouldn't do it for health reasons. I wouldn't do it if my goal was to take a 2 mile walk every single day. I do it because I have linked it to who I want to be, the person that I want to be. And those are words. Those are all words, and how I word it, where I write it down, how I remind myself every day that that's the kind of person I want to be. In this
Mhm.
particular case, I have two little happy faces that also remind me every single day. So it makes for a very easy example. Um,
Sure, sure.
but it's the words are the powerful one. It's the way that we talk to ourselves. And let's take we were talking before we started the session about sugar. And I am one of those people who believes that sugar is evil. I truly do. It is the most addictive substance that we give our babies.
Mhm.
And it's yes. So I let myself eat sugar 4 times a year. Truly
Mhm.
just 4 times a year. And so we talked about that. I could go out and eat some sugar on a day that isn't one of the days in my narrowly defined window, and then talk to myself about what I did.
Mhm.
And I can talk to myself positively, or I can talk to myself negatively, or I can be very, very neutral. And when it comes to self-talk, I try hard to be very, very neutral. Um,
Neutral
I
meaning factually based.
factually based, absolutely.
Mhm.
No judgment.
Yep.
No judgment. Oh my goodness, when you're talking to yourself, be your own best friend.
Mhm.
Be the
Yep.
person that doesn't have that doesn't yell at you, that doesn't make you feel bad for the decisions or choices that you make. So, it's a day that I don't walk the dogs, and I say, "Well, I'm not being a good dog mom today. I'll fix that tomorrow."
Right.
Very factual. I'm not being a good dog mom. I'm not saying that I'm a terrible person. I'm
Mhm.
not even saying that I'm not a good dog mom.
Mhm.
I'm saying that I'm not being a good dog mom today. Very,
Right.
very specific phrase. Very, very specific, because it reminds me, and I even do say that to myself. I'll say it out loud. Oh, I'm not being a good dog mom today. I didn't take them for a walk. Um,
Mhm. Mhm.
because it reinforces that I'm not doing the thing that I've said is part of who I want to be.
Right. Which
And
means that you get to start over tomorrow.
I get to start over tomorrow. Absolutely. Because it's just today. It's just today that I didn't. And in fact, when it comes to something as simple as eating sugar, I might say, okay, I was weak. I let sugar get me for this 1 minute. I'm not being the healthy person that I want to be. But
Mhm. Mhm.
that minute's over.
That's
So
right.
it doesn't have to start. Yeah, I can start being that healthy person the very next minute.
That's exactly. In Buddhism, there's a concept called Honin Myo, and it stands for from this moment on. As in,
Yeah.
stop judging yourself, stop beating yourself up, stop being a weirdo, let it go, make a new choice.
Yeah.
Let's go there. Question for you. New question.
Yep.
So, as you know, huge believer in mentors, and that mentors can help us with pretty much everything.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about surrounding yourself with people that you really trust to get some help setting your own goals?
I think that is a very smart idea. I think that's one of the amazing benefits of Groove is that we have a community, and there are so many people. Just if you just reach out into our Groove membership, you'll find people willing to help and wanting to make friends and be with like-minded people and have discussions about important things like goals and growth and plans. And there are so many resources, human resources in Groove just by being a part of the Groovement. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and I highly recommend that you reach out and you find someone, is that you create a mastermind group, you find some friends to talk to. Like-minded people is key, though.
Yeah.
When you're talking with people that aren't as focused on self-awareness, self-improvement, leadership, growth, building a business, you're going to get advice from people who have no business giving you advice because everybody's got an opinion. You're going to get suggestions that are not based in reality.
Mm-hmm.
It's good to get your suggestions from people who've been there and done it. It's good to
Yeah.
get your advice from people who know what you're talking about. And that reason, above all, is the reason to find a group of like-minded individuals.
Yeah, probably not a great concept to seek counsel on how to make money from your broke uncle.
No, not at all. I mean, I never talk about entrepreneurship with my husband, who is career military.
Mm-hmm.
Furthest thing possible from entrepreneurship. What I do is so far beyond his comprehension level. He
Mm-hmm.
often has advice for me on like a personal, he gives me perspective sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to the really hard entrepreneurship issues, he's not helpful.
Mm-hmm.
Not because there's anything wrong with him. It's just he doesn't share that same like-minded philosophy. He hasn't been an entrepreneur. He doesn't know what it takes to build a business.
So what you're saying is that while effective goal setting may be consultative, you really want to be careful who you're consulting with.
Absolutely. Yes. Yep.
Yeah, for sure. Surround yourself with the like-minded people and peers. And oh, by the way, I'm reminded of that adage that we are about as successful as our 10 closest friends. So if you want to look at how successful you are, take a look at your 10 closest friends, and you'll be about as successful as the average of all of those. And it's funny because in private conversations, Jim used to say, so by the way, in case you're not quite getting the message there, if you're not successful enough, upgrade your friends.
Mm-hmm.
Ouch. A lot of people are like, oh, Ridgely, did you really just say that? Did you really say that? And I'm saying, yeah, I really just said that. And I mean it. You want to surround yourself with people who are doing things, who are moving, who are going places, who are setting goals and saying, now o'clock is good. Let's get on it, right? Let's just go after that thing, whatever that thing might be. And I do want to remind everybody that we're speaking more in this particular session about the philosophy and the why behind the goals, because Donna is gifting everybody the entire goal setting phenomenal program that she's put together that you will get. So therefore, there's no need to go into specifics of the precision step-by-step methodology because you're already doing that for everybody else.
I am super excited about getting that content into the hands of more Groovesters. And I am actually making something very, very specific, additional content that I first delivered that content this time last year. And I'm making some more to add to it to deliver in Groove Growth because I just find it so powerful and I want to give more. So part of that content, the avatar method, I start talking about some of the different avatars that you might have. And I am creating a Groovester avatar. So I started to think about what are some of the things that are important to be a good Groovester. So I've got a couple of them. It's called a Groovy Marketer. I just have some notes. I'll share them with you. But I will provide you with an avatar sheet that is, when I did the course last year, it was, my avatars are too personal to share. So that's part of why I use Groove Growth, a good dog mom for many of them, because a good dog mom doesn't feel as personal as some of my other avatars, which are very personal. So I shared the dog mom. I decided to create a groovy marketer. You know, what makes someone a groovy marketer? What part of that avatar is getting very clear on values, beliefs, traits, and habits. It's those four things: values, beliefs, traits, and habits. Your values are the what's the word here? Values that you admire in someone and want to see in yourself. It's things like a good groovy marketer values growth, values learning and is often self-taught, values goal achievement, values making a difference in the world. You know, those are all things that are in my groovy marketer avatar. Then there are beliefs. Now, beliefs are things that you cannot prove. That is the fundamental definition of a belief. And I feel like when you have something that is a belief, you can't prove it. You don't know if it's true. You just recognize that it is a belief. You might think that it's true, but is it? And I am a big fan of recognizing when something is a belief and it's not serving me.
Yeah, because
limited beliefs. Yeah.
Well, because at the end of the day, beliefs drive behavior.
Yes.
And you can have reasons or you can have results.
Exactly.
Right? And reasons don't matter, results don't lie. So let's just say it, you know, we don't get out of bed in the morning unless we believe it's better than staying under the covers. But the belief drives the behavior. The behavior is the thing that gets you out of the bed.
And so many beliefs that we have, because one of the traits, we talk about traits, one of the traits of a groovy marketer is self-awareness. And so many of the beliefs that we hold, we are not aware of. They're simply beliefs that have been built into our programming, because we're all programmed from the moment we start in this world. We are constantly being programmed by every person, commercial, everything we read, every bit of information that comes to us is impacting our programming. So we're constantly programmed with beliefs that aren't ours.
Yeah.
They weren't ours.
Yeah, and they're so often ridiculous. Like, money doesn't grow on what?
Trees.
Oh, wait a second. I thought money was made out of paper. Doesn't paper come from trees? Just so many of those things that are so common for all of us, and that we've grown up with them. And therefore, I mean, Jim Rohn used to talk all the time about the concept of rich people. Rich people are, fill in the word. Rich people are, fill in the word. Rich people are, fill in the word. And almost all of those words are negative. And yet everybody wants to be rich. So wait a second. So if I'm saying rich people are evil, rich people are obnoxious, rich people are arrogant, rich people are that, and I don't want to be evil, obnoxious, or arrogant, I guess I don't want to be rich. Wow, that's a pretty interesting association.
Yeah.
Misery loves company.
All the time in us. They're in our heads. One of the things that we all believe, we all do, is that it's bad to be wrong. We have 12, 16 years of testing in school that teaches us that it's bad to be wrong. That's some heavy programming. It's bad to make a mistake. We learn that very, very early on. Heavy programming. And I see it all the time. Like, you know, our members will show me videos of them using Groove. And I see them struggling with being afraid to push a button because they're afraid to make a mistake. And often I will say, well, why don't you see what happens if you push that button that says, no, I can't find how to send a broadcasting groove mail. Well, let's take a look at the icons on the side. What happens if you push that button that says broadcast? Like,
Yeah.
we're so afraid of making a mistake that it freezes us from taking a step. And sometimes you recognize that and you realize that you're being a little bit ridiculous, and you get the bravery and you take that step. But that's only when you recognize it.
I love the book Lean Startup by Eric Ries. And he talks about the concept of failing your way forward as fast as possible. For them, an MVP is a minimally viable product. Put the MVP out there, fail or succeed and scale. One of the two, fail your way forward. So he's kind of flipped that notion on his head, saying, actually making a mistake is totally fine. We want to get through those as quickly as possible to get to the other side, to that base of success.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct on that.
Yeah.
Virtually a little frozen. There you go. You froze for a second.
I'm good. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely right about that when it comes to failure.
So you said values, beliefs, traits,
and habits. So the fourth one is habits. Those are the things that you do to demonstrate your values, beliefs, and traits. So some of the habits that I have for Groovesters are that they cultivate good habits daily. So one of your habits is cultivating good habits. Here's an example of where language is important. I didn't say create good habits. I said cultivate good habits. Cultivate is a very strong word. You're not just creating. You are giving it attention. You're developing it. You're influencing the growth of that habit. You're cultivating is a much more refined concept to creating. You can create and then it's done. Cultivating is more like sculpting. It's creating and then recreating until you get to something that is the highest or best use of what you're looking for. Cultivation is a process. Creation can happen in an instant.
You're reminding me of a quote from Aristotle, who said, "We are what we repeatedly do. Yes. Excellence is not an act, but a habit."
That Aristotle guy, smart.
He's a smart dude, that Aristotle guy, right? I think we can learn a little bit from that guy for sure. Yeah. So very exciting. Obviously, so fun to be here on Groove Growth One with everybody. This is going to be happening from now on every single week. Brand new content to help make leaders better leaders. Leadership development program, make people better people. And lots of resources like the course that you, Donna, are making available for all Groovesters to really dial in their goal setting process in a very, very unique way. So how are they going to access that? How are people going to get that? So that we say it out loud, this is what you do, this is how you get it, jump on it. It's the beginning of the year, 2022, now o'clock, let's do it.
So if you're watching this, you are watching content that we have pre-recorded and made available for you, which means right below us, right below this video is the video with the rest of that course in. Wanted to make it super easy for you. So we put the video for that course in here, as well as I think I've got my PowerPoint, and by the time it gets published, we'll have my new handout, which is what makes a groovy marketer. I'll give you that avatar. So that will all be just immediately below the video you're watching right now.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much, Don. I'm really excited. Want to let everybody know, really exciting content coming up next. We're going to be talking in the context of goal setting and goals, etc., about the power of the 80-20 rule and the fact that 20% of what you do will give you 80% of the results. Therefore, only a few things matter. And I have a wizard expert coming on to talk to us about that up and coming. We'll see you for our next session of Groove Growth. Thank you so much, everybody. Take advantage of the resources right below. Any last words on goal setting, goals, etc.?
We here at Groove know that your goals are our goals. Mm-hmm. We are very, very aware. We are Groove.cm because customers matter, and every single person involved in this organization recognizes that your success is our success. So that's why I'm so excited to bring Ridgely to you this year, as well as all the other content that we have in an effort to do our very best to help you become your very best.
Thank you so much. Everybody go out there, set your goals, and find your groove. Talk to you soon.